Hey everyone. So, I wanted to talk about something that the Lord has told me the other day, and it's about the hardening of hearts with the current political climate and the wars that are going on around the world, and the political activists that we're seeing in the cities that are slinging mud at the other party and other ideologies and all this other stuff. And I see a lot of believers, you know, rolling in the mud, and it just never felt right to me. I have my own opinions, but who am I? Who am I? I don't even trust that my opinions are right. So I tend to want to keep my mouth shut about things. I'd rather exist as a student that's still learning. Um, but I am by no means an expert in any ideology whatsoever. I am not the first one to claim that I got it all right and that other people are wrong. And you heard of the term, do things that people shouldn't talk about in public, or politics and religion. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's destructive, and I don't think it's necessarily the content of the conversation that's destructive. It's the delivery, the method, the pride, the hate, the arrogance, the insensitivities, the lack of love for the other party, the desire to be right and to win the argument. A lot of people say there's this derangement syndrome. Well, guess what? Both parties have it. There's a derangement syndrome between religions and ideologies too. Jesus speaks clearly about this. He says, why are you trying to take the speck out of your brother's eye while you have the plank in your own eye? Take the plank out of your own eye first so you can see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's. How much of us actually know when the planks are out? Mine, I still have planks. And I'm nobody. But then, this has really been bothering me for a long time. And then the Lord told me. When you think about your enemies, and we're supposed to love our enemies, we're supposed to bless our enemies, right? We're not supposed to resist our enemies. That means don't debate them either. You're not supposed to. Jesus said that. Don't resist your enemies. Instead, love them. Why? Well, he explained it to me. God hardens people's hearts. When people, and us as believers, we are just the same, and we're just as liable to fall into this. So be careful. If you pick a hill to die on for any ideology out there, and you use scripture or some other mechanism to justify why you're right, you're righteous, God could and may harden your heart. Scripture talks about having a hardened heart. The result of having a hardened heart is like being blind and deaf and unable to perceive truth. That's what having a hardened heart is. When your heart is hardened, you can't see truth. You can't perceive truth. So what's the point in arguing about it with a person that may have had their heart hardened by God? Think about that. If somebody's heart has been hardened, God put a padlock that was put there by God on their heart, where they can't perceive truth. They can't listen to truth. They're stuck in their ways, and God does that for various reasons. Sometimes it's judgment. Sometimes they're being sealed for destruction of some sort, or punishment, or discipline. Sometimes it's what he did with Pharaoh when he wouldn't let the Israelites go. Sometimes it's so he can create an opportunity so the whole world will know who he is. That nobody can resist him. Nobody can oppose God. Like, he will do whatever he wants on earth just as he does in heaven. There's various reasons for God hardening somebody's heart. My point is, as believers, if your enemy, you perceive them as having a hardened heart, and believe me, there is a lot of them out there, believers and non-believers, don't argue with them. Because if you're opposing somebody who has a hardened heart, if you're resisting somebody that has a hardened heart, you're not just resisting them, you're resisting a mandate from God to that person that has hardened their heart. So you're actually opposing God and his will. See what I mean? Person A perceives person B isn't doing something right, and they're stuck in the person B will die on this hill no matter what. Why? They will not listen to truth. Person B will not listen to truth. Person A perceives this and says, oh, wow, you're bad, you're evil. There's something wrong with you. You're a bad person. And this is why, blah, 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 blah. And they're resisting this evil person. And they laugh and they scoff and they call them names, which we are told not to do. Right? And we're opposing them, this person. It could be that this person's heart was hardened to the point no matter what this person A says, person B is not going to hear it. They will not even perceive it. They will never comprehend it. Not because they're stupid, not because they're stubborn. It very well could be that God has hardened their heart for a purpose that's between this person, person B, and him alone. So what is this person supposed to do? Keep pointing at them, keep criticizing them, keep calling them stupid, keep calling them idiots. What is this person supposed to do? Hate them as a believer? Hate them? And in doing all that, he's opposing the action of God to harden this person's heart for a purpose that has nothing to do with person A, the believer. Do you guys get that? What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to love our enemies. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean person A gets to call person B stupid. That's not love. And in doing so, this person is becoming rebellious. And I have seen, I think, these believing Christians that are disobeying the will of God, calling this person stupid, and look, I am just as liable here. Their hearts have become hardened too. So both people's hearts are hardened. That's terrifying. We need to pray for each other, especially those who have hardened hearts. Pray for them. Because if they don't perceive and they don't understand, and hey, as believers, I'm one of them. There's a lot I don't understand. It's probably because something in me is hardened. Pray that the Father gives us hearts of flesh, so that we all, enemies and us, will all be able to finally perceive truth. Have some empathy for each other. Like, we're not different than people on the other side of the world. We're really no different than those Iranians that were in power, that were just ousted, or are watching this destruction happen all around them. We're no different than the Palestinians. We're no different than the people in Israel, Israelis. We're no different than people in Africa. We're no different than we're human. We are all created by one God. Our culture does not define us. Yet we have hardened our hearts. We are all going to be paying for our disobedience. We need to have our eyes opened. We need to see the truth. None of the world's ways and rules matter. It's all destructive. It's all evil. The ways of God are the ways of protection and security. Is the name of the Father is a strong tower, and evil will not prevail against it. You have to soften our hearts. Ask the Father to give us all hearts of flesh. Okay? Something I've been thinking about. That's a quick one. But anyway, you guys have a good day, okay? Talk to you soon.